And I'd like to welcome you guys to the Soto Podcast. This is your host, DJ Just J with Just Dimes ENT, your humble host where we advocate for children first. This is going to be one of those stories, man, where it didn't end the way that we wanted it to. It started out as an Amber Alert. That Amber Alert turned into a recovered body of a 2-year-old little girl, okay? Now, let me show you the first name on the screen. This person right here, her name is Sharena Nancy, and I did not mess that name up. It is Sharena Islam, Islam, Nancy, Nancy. She is a 25-year-old woman whose husband said was working as a rideshare driver like Lyft or Uber or some crap like that. And she's accused of kidnapping this baby right here, and her name is Nalani Johnson, Nalani Johnson, okay? Because I noticed one news outlet actually got her name wrong. 2 years old, and she was reported missing in Pennsylvania, okay? Now, the child has not yet been found. Well, no, the child actually has been found, okay? So it said that the child hadn't been found, but the child has been found. And I know that you guys would have liked to have had a report that they recovered the baby. Well, she's posthumous. The baby's dead. And I don't know any other way to say that. But I'm going to tell you guys how we kind of got to where we are. Tragically, authorities now say that the poor girl's little body was found at Pine Ridge Park in Burrell Township, Indiana County. I don't even know where that is. Burrell Township, Indiana County. The Allegheny County Police Department reported a news release that the driver of a Toyota Yaris sedan involved in this incident, Sharena Islam Nancy, is lodged in the Allegheny County Jail awaiting arraignment after being charged with these following offenses: kidnapping of a minor, interference with custody of children, and concealment of whereabouts of a child. As of right now, and those charges could potentially be upgraded depending on a lot of things coming up here, okay? Now, here's what you actually need to know. Number one, Sharena Nancy accused Nalani's father of selling the child for $10,000. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not. Human trafficking. Thank you, Miss June Bennett. Could this be human trafficking? And I think this might have been a case. Well, I can check and see if I'm offline. I'll trust your word, Miss June Bennett. Let me check right here real quick. If you guys don't mind me taking a pause. Find out, make sure I'm still online. If you guys heard about this or not. Human trafficking. Thank you, Miss June Bennett. I'll check it every once in a while, Miss June Bennett. Yeah, just refresh, sweetheart. For now, if you have an issue with the stream, just refresh, because right now I don't have anything else using my internet. My internet is good. Okay, so I'm good on this end. So I'm watching. My phone is not actually connected to my Wi-Fi, so I'm actually good. It just stopped. It might do that. It might do that. But as long as I can watch it from my phone, it lets me know that I'm back on. Right now, I don't have anything else using my internet. My internet is good. Okay. And by the way, if you guys would, please click that thumbs up and share the stream. Let other people know that we're live, if you guys would. I just shared it out myself into a couple of groups so people can know that we're live. And I would like to welcome you guys here to our stream. And what we do is we advocate for children. So I actually just shared it in 3 groups. So people should see that we're live, okay? Now, Sharena Nancy, the woman that I showed you in the picture earlier, accused Nalani's father of selling the child for $10,000. Hashtag babies for benefits. Told you guys this has been a theme, and I don't think that parents have really been respecting these children as much as I think that they should. Despite the arrest, police say that they're still searching for her. She's already been found, so we can skip past that part. Sharena Nancy told police that Nalani's father sold Nalani to someone else for $10,000, and Nancy was to drive the girl 20 minutes from a gas station in Monroeville along Route 22. She claimed that she gave the girl to 2 women in a silver SUV with an out-of-state license plate, according to the news outlet. That woman right there. Police said in a news release that the FBI joined the search to find the little girl. So this was an all-out effort to try to find her. And on September the 1st, which was only 2 days ago, police announced that they continued to investigate the disappearance of the 2-year-old girl who was abducted in Penn Hills. Now, of course, I have to remind you guys, she has been found. Thank you, ESPN. She's been found as of today. Now, court records. The court records state that during an interview with authorities, Nancy said that Johnson sold Jane Doe, or otherwise Nalani, to an unnamed individual for $10,000. Now, according to Nancy Johnson, asked Nancy to drive Jane Doe 20 minutes from a gas station in Monroeville along U.S. Route 22. Nancy said that Johnson showed her a photograph of a black female and told her this individual would flag her along that route, and Nancy was to turn Jane Doe over to that woman. She told detectives as she did as Paul Johnson instructed her and encountered a silver SUV with out-of-state plates parked on a berm of the road with its 4-way flashers on. And Nancy stated that the name of the state on the registration plate was written in cursive. Okay. A black female was standing beside the vehicle and a second black female was inside the vehicle. Nancy told investigators, according to court documents, that she gave baby Jane Doe to the woman standing beside the vehicle along with the car seat. Nancy said that she drove near Blairsville and then turned around. Nancy said that she then drove to Monroeville, sat in her car, and smoked cigarettes while talking on the phone with her husband, who currently lives in Bangladesh. Does any of this make any sense to anybody? I know it don't make sense to me. If she knew all that, why would she drive the baby instead of just calling the law? Hey, one can only know. Who knows? But I'll tell you guys this. Somebody said that it's not too far from where they live. It's crazy, huh? But you guys also have to think about this. That this woman appears to not be of American nationality. Her husband is in Bangladesh. And maybe she got this money and sent it to him some type of way. Either wired it, Western Union it. Or, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I watch a lot of movies. Let me see. Hold on, let me see if I can look it up. Because I know I'm about to mispronounce it. Hawala Money Transfer Network. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. That's a money laundering scheme that sometimes the bad people who are not law-abiding citizens in the United States will use these type of networks to transfer money to here, transfer money to here, transfer money to here, to try to basically erase the traces of where this money is and get it to the hands of people, right? A Hawala network. And I watch a lot of movies. I actually got that from a movie, with Don Cheadle in it. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, nonetheless, it could be something like that. Who knows? So maybe that she was risking her own freedom here in the United States to try to transfer money out of the country over this kid. I have no idea. We don't know. Okay? Now, the Allegheny County Police Superintendent Coleman McDonough said later in a news conference that Nancy and Nalani's father, by the name of Paul Johnson, were in a romantic relationship. Did you guys catch that? Keep in mind, she actually has a husband in Bangladesh who was deported. If you get deported, then that means you did something wrong. And if you did something wrong, then how can we assume that your wife is going to do everything right when, love will make you do some strange things, right? So we can't assume that she's going to be a law-abiding citizen when her husband is basically a person that's not deserving of American citizenship or even to be in this country. They said that woman, let me go back so you guys can see her damn face again. that woman right there on the left side of the screen, was in a romantic relationship with a man by the name of Paul Johnson, who was the father of Nalani Johnson. Did that not just make this a little bit crazier? Sharena Nancy and Paul Johnson became acquainted intermittently over the last few months, so they were known to each other, Madonna said. They were friends, and they were in the beginnings of an intermittent romantic relationship. Ooh, wow. He added, we believe that an argument ensued at approximately 5 p.m. or so. Mr. Johnson and Mr. Justin Rouse, Johnson's friend, exited the vehicle with the intention of taking Nalani with them when Miss Nancy pulled away with the child in the vehicle. Okay. Point number 2. For his part, Nalani's father claimed that she was abducted by a female who turned out to be Sharena Nancy, who he was having a romantic relationship with. This don't even sound like a real story. This sounds like a fucking, like something you watch out of like off of Netflix or something. Lifetime. This don't even make any sense. On August the 31st of 2019, only a few days ago, the Penn Hills police were alerted to a possible child abduction in their community. They responded and met with the biological father again, Paul Johnson, of the missing child, the news media released. The father explained that his 2-year-old daughter was abducted by a female and that female fled the car with the child. The Penn Hills Police Department requested the assistance of the Child Abduction Response Team, or CART. An Amber Alert issue came out. Now, CART, again, that's Child Abduction Response Team, is comprised of the FBI agents and the Allegheny County Police detectives. They responded and initiated an investigation, and the release continues. The female alleged to have abducted the child and her car were located shortly after, and she is currently in the company of investigators. That's the woman later identified as Sharena Nancy, the woman on the right-hand side. Now, according to the news, the people that were keeping up, the news people, Nalani's father, Paul Johnson, and he alleged that he was in a car with Nalani and Sharena, but Sharena drove off with the child once he got out. Now, why would he get out and not get out without his kid? Doesn't make any sense either. Y'all let me know if any of this makes sense at any point in time. And while you guys are watching, please click the thumbs up. Please share the stream. I know we don't have enough thumbs up, so if you're watching, click that thumbs up. Help us out, okay? Thank you to everybody that's already clicked the thumbs up. Thank y'all for doing that for me, okay? Now, let's keep going. He claimed that he got out the car, but she drove off with the kid. He called the police and said that they found the vehicle with Nancy in it, but no Nalani. Point number 3. Sharena's husband says she works as a rideshare driver, and his name is Rihan Uddin, Raihan Uddin. Uddin is his last name, and he's the husband of Sharena Nancy. He is the husband of Sharena Nancy. Paul Johnson had a romantic relationship with Sharena Nancy. Is the baby alive? West Coast honeys, if you didn't hear me earlier, they just found her today. While I was putting the story together, they had just found her, I think, like maybe 4 or 5 hours earlier in the day. They found her body. She's dead. The little girl is dead. Nancy Sharena's husband is currently in Bangladesh, but I'm going to get to that here in a moment, okay? The husband, Rihan Uddin, told the news that she was working as a rideshare driver Saturday night and says that she didn't tell him anything about a child, even though they had talked last night. Police say that the rideshare stickers were on the car's windshield, and the vehicle used during this incident was a 2007 black Toyota Yaris hatchback with Lyft and Uber stickers. Lyft and Uber stickers in the front passenger side window, they said, which is already strange, because usually you pick one or the other. You don't normally work both, from my understanding, but I could be wrong, okay? Now, this Yaris was actually in the middle of the conversation because they were trying to find the Yaris, but they found it. Okay? The dad's name is Paul Johnson. I know it's a lot going on in this story. You guys just try to follow me because we got a lot of videos that are going to hopefully kind of show you guys also what happened. So that way you don't just have to listen to me tell you, okay? Now, the Allegheny County Police have assumed that the lead role in the investigation and are being assisted by the FBI. Sorry, I read that wrong. Uber told the news reporter Chris Hoffman that no one with Sharena Nancy's name took trips on this app this past week. So Uber is denying that she worked for them this past week. They didn't say ever, but they said this week. Most people have Uber and Lyft, but do most people work for Uber and Lyft? Remember, they're saying that this is how she was making her money. This is how she was making her income. So I don't know if you guys know people that work for Uber or Lyft, but do they normally work for both? I thought you normally have to pick one, but I don't know. It's like a conflict of interest. But what do I know? I don't know. Maybe you can work for Uber and Lyft together. I have no idea. Okay? But Uber came out and said that Sharena Nancy did not take trips on the app this past weekend. Lyft released a statement to Hoffman. While this incident did not happen on Lyft platforms, these allegations are deeply disturbing. The safety of our community is fundamental to Lyft, and we have permanently banned this individual from driving with Lyft. So Lyft banned her permanently. Last point. Nancy is married with a daughter, but her husband was deported to India, Bangladesh. Is this getting crazy? Is this getting crazy yet? Her husband, Rehan Udin, further told the news that he spoke to Nancy the night of the alleged abduction, but she didn't mention a child. She has me on the dashboard, so I saw the car, the whole thing. She called the video off, but I could still hear her. She said to the television station, which added that Udin lives in India because he was deported. And we got paperwork. He was deported. They were married in 2018, and he lives with their daughter in India, according to the television station, but Nancy sends them money. $174 people watching. Did y'all click the thumbs up or did y'all not hear anything that I just said? I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read that again because that is definitely a motive for murder. Y'all said it's common for people to work for both in the state of Pennsylvania. I'll have to take your word for it. So thank you, America. I appreciate that. I'm going to read that again. The husband said she called the video off, but I could still hear her. He said to the television station, which added that Udin lives in India because he was deported. They were married in 2018, last year. Only last year. They were married, and he lives in India with their daughter in India, Bangladesh. According to the television station, but Nancy sends them money. Nancy sends her husband in Bangladesh. She has a daughter with him. He was deported, so she sends him money. I can guarantee you that she's not making enough money to pay all of her bills in Pennsylvania and send him money. So in my opinion, probably what happened, I don't know whether it was $10,000 or not. I don't know. But all I know is that if she acquired some type of money, I can guarantee you she sent it to him. If he's already kicked out of the United States of America, then I can guarantee you he does not give a crap about the laws here, and I can guarantee you that she doesn't either. All right? Now, the TV station described Sharena Nancy as the 25-year-old Indian woman with black hair and brown eyes. Of course, that was who I had on the screen earlier. That was the description they put out initially when they were looking for her. And she's currently being held in the Allegheny County Jail, according to jail records. Now, let me go ahead and show you guys the news video, and let me go ahead and get this fair use prepped for you guys, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, we did have a couple people donate, and if you guys would like to donate, we actually had a couple. One being Mom's Fur Babies, and I wanted to say thank you for donating in the super chat. And there was one other person, I can't remember the name, who donated earlier in the super chat, but thank you also. And let me make sure I can say your name, because I don't know if you want your name read or not. Christine C. sent $20 by way of the Cash App, so I want to say thank you to you for donating. So thank you very much, and that's it so far. Let's go ahead and get this fair use going. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Guys, I'm telling you, if you got something to drink, kick back and relax. This is going to be a long ride. I have a lot of videos. There was a lot of coverage on this. So what I tried to do was cut out the coverage of them looking for the kid, and this is the coverage after they found the kid and a little more information about how the search efforts went, okay? So again, if you guys want to donate, y'all know how to do that. I'd love to see some more names in here, especially new names. Let me see. Yes, I just got it. So CJ Gunn, I just got yours. So thank you very much. It just came in.
So breaking news out of Westmoreland County, where 2 new searches are taking place for Nalani. Ross Gadani continues our team coverage. Ross.
CJ Gunn said, keep up the good work, Jay. Have just been watching. Oh, you've just been watching, not in the chat so much. Sending love to you. So CJ Gunn, if you're listening, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Susan, let's go up to News Chopper 2 right now. It's over Route 22. Various fire apparatus, UTVs, and other types of transportation and individuals looking for this missing child, looking for that car seat that Allegheny County detectives have now put out as something for people to be on the lookout for. Now, they're also, both teams are located in New Alexandria. They are, in fact, looking along the water line and so forth. Now, what's interesting about these particular searches is it all intensified shortly after Allegheny County detectives came here and spoke to Westmoreland County emergency officials, and they have only limited daylight to deal with. So there was quite a bit of activity here a little bit earlier as these particular assets went out and about in Westmoreland County to try to find this child. But this was not the first search of the day. There was one earlier this morning that was prompted by the child's grandmother for people to come and help. They started gathering in Delmont in the early morning, all hoping the same thing.
That we find Nalani and we can take her home.
Taji Walsh, grandmother of missing 2-year-old.
So that's the grandmother.
In Delmont in the early morning, all hoping the same thing.
That we find Nalani and we...
Taji Walsh is Nalani's grandmother. That's the grandmother.
They started gathering in Delmont in the early morning, all hoping the same thing.
That we find Nalani and we can take her home.
Taji Walsh, grandmother of missing 2-year-old Nalani Johnson. Walsh organizing a search in and around Delmont after being told the child's alleged abductor's cell phone pinged somewhere close to this area.
We had a lot of heavy rain here last night, so things are going to be muddy, slippy, and we really don't want anybody getting hurt.
Delmont Fire Captain Bill Walk and his firefighters assisted in the effort.
The people volunteered to go wherever they wanted to go. Our search for the fire department is going to take a lot of our parks and backwood areas where we you can't get an SUV in there or something else like that. And we're going to expand the search all the way out into Blairsville.
By late afternoon, officials from Westmoreland County and Allegheny County police detectives told Mrs. Walsh that they're going to continue to search, but they asked her to keep up her efforts to keep the public aware. And above all, remember this child's face.
Anywhere. It doesn't just have to be in this area, all over the city of Pittsburgh. Even if you live out in another state, as much information that is shared with her, and hope somebody, seen this child.
I'm just showing this so you guys can hear from the grandmother. We still have not heard from the biological mother. This is just so messed up on so many levels. There's so many things that we don't know, and I don't think that we'll ever get a full answer, a real answer, an honest answer, okay? So these next two videos are kind of looking in hindsight, but I'm going to keep playing these, but we're going to get to the actual current story, and they've already found the little girl. She didn't make it, man. I don't know what they did to this little girl. They still have to do an autopsy and all of this stuff. I'm scared to even find out what the hell actually happened to her, man. Let's go ahead and keep going.
The search for an abducted 2-year-old girl covered land and water this evening. Firefighters slowly searched along Route 22 in Westmoreland County for clues. Others in boats looked along the banks of the Loyal Hannah Creek. They are looking for anything that might lead them to Nalani Johnson. She was taken Saturday night in Penn Hills, and since then, there has been no sign of her. Pam Serrano was with search crews this evening and explains why crews were in that area. Pam.
Susan, those searches took place in many areas of Westmoreland County today, including right here in New Alexandria. Now, rescuers say it was a physically difficult day as well as a tedious one searching for little Nalani, but rescuers say they would do anything to help. Rescue boats took to the waters of Loyal Hannah Creek. 5 river miles covered, 20 rescuers and 3 boats from Westmoreland County's Swift Water Rescue Team all here.
We sent 1 river left, 1 river right, and 1 down the middle. And they went as a team. And what they do is, they search out from both sides of the banks to the middle.
Firefighters also scoured Route 22 in New Alexandria Monday night looking for any piece of evidence in the search for little Nalani. Hours earlier, Allegheny County Police, the FBI, and state police met at the Delmont Fire Station, and the search soon after included specific areas of Westmoreland County.
Because of the waterway and how it goes over 22 and how the vehicle did travel the Route 22 corridor. There's another spot up around Blairsville, the Conemaugh River, that I believe that they wanted to check.
Police say Sharena Nancy, the woman charged in connection with the toddler's abduction, was seen in the Delmont, New Alexandria, and Blairsville areas driving Saturday night. Police also say that Nancy's car was captured on video at the Sheets on Penn Highway in Murraysville. And also tonight, Allegheny County Police want the public to be on the lookout for the child's car seat, an even flow sport harness booster, black with a gray seat. Police caught up with Nancy on Saturday night in the car, but the toddler and seat weren't in it.
That's a huge problem. Let's go ahead and move forward. Now, they've already found her. So here's where we're getting ready to start getting into the meat of this, okay? Well, we got about 215 people watching. If y'all will click that thumbs up, we should have about 300 or 400 people in here. But once you guys start clicking that thumbs up, it'll help us out quite a bit, okay? So if you guys would, please click that thumbs up, okay?
Police still have not found any sign of a missing toddler.
They've already found her, so I'm going to skip past some of this.
Yeah, and the police are hoping that her almost 2-year-old Nalani Johnson.
Our family, we miss Nalani, and we want.
I had no idea I was going to run across that. I don't know if you guys just heard that. She couldn't even pronounce her grandbaby's name right. I'm going to play this again. That kind of bothers me a little bit. This is your grandbaby. How can you not pronounce her name? Did y'all catch that? I'm going to play this again.
Leads them to Nalani Johnson. Taja Walsh is a grandmother in anguish and desperate for help to find her granddaughter, almost 2-year-old Nalani Johnson.
Our family, we miss Nalani. And
are you fucking kidding me? What? Did y'all hear that? No, it's not even about her misspeaking. Like, come on, like y'all know that I can't pronounce things right. Y'all know that I mess up when I read, I mess up when I speak, when I talk sometimes. You're talking about a name that you should know. I'll give you an example. My family's names, I'm never going to misspeak those. My name, I'm never going to misspeak my name. My daughter, I'm never going to misspeak that name. Your grandkid, how do you mispronounce your grandkid's name? It's not even a hard name. Nalani. She said, listen again.
It's that way. And somewhere in between, they're hoping to find the clue that leads them to Nalani Johnson. Taja Walsh is a grandmother in anguish and desperate for help to find her granddaughter, almost 2-year-old Nalani Johnson.
our family, we miss Nalani.
Okay, Mr. Richards, let me tell you why this is a problem. Because she sounds like she don't even know the baby. That's a great point. In 24 months, they should know this kid by now. Okay? So let me say, no, it ain't nerves. It's none of that. Let me tell you guys why. Let me tell you why. Guess what you have to know in order to submit an Amber Alert. I'll tell you guys. Let me look it up so I can give you guys the official, because I've looked this up before. Amber Alert requirements. The following 5 criteria must be met to activate a regional Amber Alert system or Texas statewide Amber Alert. So I'm going to give you guys what qualifies for an Amber Alert. See if I can give you guys this real quick. The missing child must be 17 years of age or younger. The law enforcement agency believes that the child missing has been abducted. This means that the child was either unwillingly taken from their environment without permission from the child's parent or legal guardian, or taken by the child's parent or legal guardian who commits an act of murder or attempted murder during the time of abduction. Number 3, the law enforcement agency believes the child is in danger or seriously bodily harm or death. Number 4, the law enforcement agency has conducted an investigation that has verified an abduction has taken place or ruled out alternative explanations. Number 5, sufficient information is available to distribute to the public that could assist in locating the abducted child, suspect, or the vehicle used in the abduction. So here's the thing. Because we've actually had situations where they were not able to put out an Amber Alert because they were missing information. They didn't know the car. They didn't know who the person might be with. They didn't put out the correct name. So here's the thing. If you do not put out the right name, they can't issue an Amber Alert with the wrong name. Sometimes I'm just wrong. I could be wrong. But let me know when I'm wrong, though. That's the difference, T. Brown. That's the difference. I don't mind y'all being here. All I need you to do is point out to me when I'm wrong. Don't tell me I'm not always right. I mean, that's kind of dumb. But tell me the moments when I'm actually wrong, okay? Because I've actually done stories where people said, well, damn, we could have saved the kid if they would have just put out an Amber Alert. Well, I've told you guys, each state has a set of criteria in order for you to be able to put out an Amber Alert. Because if you don't meet that criteria that they have, they're not going to put out the Amber Alert. You're not going to get the text on your phone. I get the text on my phone all the time. But imagine how many times that people didn't have the right information and couldn't get their Amber Alert out. They gave what was needed to get the Amber Alert out. No, this is what I'm telling you. The reason why I have a problem with her mispronouncing the name. There was one news outlet. If you guys want me to look it up, I can look it up and give you the link. there was one news outlet that misspelled the little girl's name. They put her name out as Nalani with an M, Nalani, not Nalani. Why does that make a big difference? Because if they put the wrong information out there, they may or may not be able to find this kid, or they may or may not be able to get their Amber Alert out if they put out the wrong information. So I'll give you an example. If they have an ID and they show the ID and then they write the name in there and see that there's a different name, they will say that's a cause to not put out the Amber Alert. That's about as simple as I can make it. I'm not going to argue about that. What I'm telling you is I just caught the fact that she mispronounced her own granddaughter's name and one of the news outlets put out the wrong name. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes just listen rather than type so much. Like, God, like you gotta listen sometime, you know? I know y'all think I got an agenda. I know y'all think I hate myself. I know y'all think I hate life and hate the black community and this and that. Well, I'm actually talking about an Indian woman in this situation. Are you going to give me credit for that, Mr. Pro-Black? T. Brown, black and proud Brown, you going to give me some credit for that? I have done yet another story about someone who is non-black. GSD Mob, Lanisha Lewis, Egoos is me. Do you think they're going to give me credit for that? No, we're not going to give Just Jay credit for that. Why would we give him credit for doing what we've been begging him to do without donating to the show? They've been begging me in my emails, please stop disparaging the black community by doing all of these stories about black people, about black women. Look at that. Miss June Bennett said, I Googled it and all the Fox networks spelled it M-A-L-A-N-I instead of N-A-L-A-N-I. And she found that within 5 seconds. Did T. Brown go look up any of this information and find out whether I was incorrect about what I was saying or not? No, he didn't. T. Brown didn't. T. Brown just likes to type in the chat. And that's okay. I like you typing in my chat. I love the views, bruh. I really do. I need another video to go over 300,000 views. I really do. I like those, right? I need a couple more of those. I want to be on my 4th one by now. What do we know about the father? The father's name is Paul Johnson. That's the biological father of Nalani with an N and not an M. Okay? Now, from what we understand, his story doesn't make any sense either. But all of this stuff doesn't make any sense. So here's the story. From what we understand, the biological father was fucking this Sharena Nancy chick, this Indian chick. She has a fucking husband in India because he was deported from the United States. But she works for Uber and Lyft, and she sends him money, apparently out of whatever funds that she has. But they believe that she is the person who collected $10,000 to take Paul Johnson's baby, Nalani Johnson, and give them over to some Jane Doe woman who was supposed to be waiting, and she was supposed to drop her off after she was flagged down. And she was supposed to receive $10,000 allegedly. We've heard from the grandmother, and we have not heard from the biological mother. This is just weird. No, Fox, I didn't even look for it. I didn't get it from Fox News. I actually got it from a different source. That's why I was surprised that Miss June Bennett got it from Fox. I didn't get it from there. I got it from a different source. So apparently, again, this is another story that I've done where multiple people have got these Amber Alert names wrong. That's a simple fix. And even then, if you go to their website, it's easy for them to just fix it. Delete the old picture, upload a new picture, change the name, fix it. Yeah. What a normal story. C.E. Green, this is becoming almost an every other week type thing. Let's go ahead and move on with the story. I'm sorry I talked a lot, but I wanted to make sure and explain that for a couple people. Neptune's fan, all of you guys, what's up? Y'all make sure and do me a favor and click that thumbs up. Share the stream if you guys want to donate. A couple people already have. Sometimes when it's late at night, some people don't. But if you want to, y'all know that the links are in the description box. Let's go ahead and listen to Grandma Grandma Slowface repeat this baby's name wrong again. Grandma Slowface, that's her name.
Where the kidnapping happened is about 11 miles that way. Blairsville.
Y'all know I like to give these stupid ass people names, so this is Grandma Slowface if y'all want to put that in the chat. Grandma Slowface.
Where the police now believe she went is 23 miles that way. And somewhere in between, they're hoping to find the clue that leads them to Nalani Johnson. Taja Walsh is a grandmother in anguish and desperate for help to find her granddaughter, almost 2-year-old Nalani Johnson.
Our family, we miss Nalani, and we want her home.
Little
Nalani.
Old Nalani Johnson.
Our family, we miss Nalani.
Old Nalani Johnson.
Our family, we miss Nalani.
Come on, Grandma Slowface. Let's hear you say it and fuck it up again.
Johnson.
Our family, we miss Nalani, and we want her home.
Little Nalani was last seen by her father here on Bryant Drive in Penn Hills about 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Police say Johnson was in the backseat with his daughter of this black Toyota Yaris. A friend, Justin Rouse, was up front with the driver, Sharena Nancy. Police tell us today that Paul Johnson and Sharena Nancy were in the beginnings of a relationship. An argument started between the men and Nancy.
At that point, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Rouse exited the vehicle with the intention of taking Nalani with them, and when Ms. Nancy pulled away with the child in the vehicle.
Sharena Nancy was seen on security cameras at the Sheets on Penn Highway in Murraysville about 20 minutes later. It's the time period after that police are looking for help with. Cell phone records put her in the Blairsville area around 6.
From Murraysville out to Blairsville and all points in between is a very large area. A lot of our investigative efforts are right now trying to better define the search area.
Because when she was stopped at 7:30 on Rodi Road, Nalani and her car seat were not in the car. They're hoping businesses along the stretch will check the time frame and their security cameras. As for Sharena Nancy's claim that Paul Johnson made a deal to sell Nalani for $10,000, investigators aren't buying it. As for the silver SUV on Route 22 and the woman who flagged her down to take the child,
this time we have no reason to corroborate that there was a vehicle or SUV, but we obviously don't want to comment beyond that.
Nalani's grandmother just wants someone to come forward and help.
Anyone has any information on her to please call the tip line and share it.
With them big ass tattoos all over her chest, all exposed. I'm just throwing that out there because Tommy talks about it a lot. It's very prevalent. Just saying. Also, thank you to DC Native 81 who donated while we were offline earlier today. So thank you to you also. Let's go ahead and move on with the next video. Now, what I'm going to show you here, yeah, man, it's crazy, Neptunes fan. What I'm going to show you guys is some of the efforts that they made to try to find this baby on land and water. Watch this.
The search continues for a missing 2-year-old girl. It's now been 3 days since Nalani Johnson was last seen. But there have been new developments in the search, including a new search area. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm David Highfield.
And I'm Susan Copen. Allegheny County Police have also released new information about the woman charged in Johnson's disappearance. John Shumway joins us live with what investigators revealed about Sharena Nancy as well as Johnson's father. John.
Yeah, and what they basically revealed was that the two were in the beginnings of a romantic relationship. And on Saturday afternoon, they had spent several hours together along with a friend of his, all in Sharena Nancy's car, when an altercation took place. And it got so intense that the two men decided they needed to get out of that car. And that is what happened. Now, the two men had just gotten out of the car when Sharena Nancy sped away. She sped away and ended up at the Sheet station about 23 minutes later. It has now been 3 days since Nalani was last seen, and the police are desperate for information. Their priority is to get Nalani back, and the searches over the weekend were fruitless. All the while, they are looking for anything that will point them in the direction of where to look. Specifically, Sharena Nancy, after being caught on camera here at Sheets, took a drive, and police are looking for anyone who might have seen her Saturday in that time frame between 5 and 7:30.
Sharena Nancy pulled away with the child in the vehicle at approximately 5 p.m. We believe shortly thereafter we have some evidence to suggest the child was still in the car, but we have Ms. Nancy in the area of the Chestnut Ridge Resort at 6 p.m., and we have her back at Rhode Eye Road at approximately 7:30 p.m., where Penn Hills stopped the vehicle.
Yeah, and when...
All right, now, let me go ahead and move on to the next video. I have a lot of these videos, so that was number 4. We've got a few more, if you guys want to see them. Now, these are going to also be showing that they've already found the baby's body. She's definitely dead, okay? If you guys would, like my guy Nat B used to say, smash that like button. I wonder where Nat B is, man. Hopefully everything is all right with my guy, but smash that like button. I like when he says that. So if you guys would, that'll help us share this stream and tell the story of Nalani Johnson, who sounds like she was abandoned by everybody that was around her. It seems like they're only having these kids for the benefits that they can collect from them. And what is that called? Hashtag babies for benefits. They do not give a fuck about these kids at all. They don't. Let me know where there's somebody in this story that gave a fuck about this kid that was actually in her family. Live long and prosper. Thank you. I love my Star Trek people. The grandmother don't care because she mispronounced her name a couple of times. The biological mother has not been heard from in any of these stories, and there's like dozens of news outlets that reported on this. The biological father has been accused of selling this girl. Why isn't this motherfucker arrested? If that's the case, at least arrest him on the suspicion of it. Number 4, the woman that he was fucking, Sharena Islam Nancy, 25 years old, this Indian chick, then supposedly sold this kid to some unidentified person. Number 5, her husband that she's married to and has a kid with got deported from the United States with her daughter. With her daughter. And she sends him money. And what money does she get between Uber and Lyft and paying all her bills here in the United States and still got enough money to dump him funds? Nah, there's something real wrong with this story, man. Real wrong. Now, let's go ahead and keep going. I'm going to let you guys listen to some more of this. Let me speed this up a little bit.
Yes. Yes, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear that? Obviously, it's a talk about Nalani Johnson, the 2-year-old child that was abducted from Penn Hills. And here to talk about that investigation and where it stands right now is the Indiana County District Attorney, Patrick Doherty. So I'd like to invite him up to the microphone. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to take any questions, but he'll give you a synopsis of where the investigation stands right now. District Attorney.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? All right.
Let me give you guys a different video. I think I have one that's a little bit more clear than that one. Let me try this one real quick. I think we might be able to hear him a little bit better on this one.
This conference today, obviously, is a talk.
No, that's coming through one side. Let's go ahead and do this one again. So we'll just play it through here.
Are we good with sound? Here to talk about that investigation and where it stands right now is the Indiana County District Attorney, Patrick Doherty. So I'd like to invite him up to the microphone. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to take any questions, but he'll give you a synopsis of where the investigation stands right now. District Attorney.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? All right. Obviously, we're here today to discuss the missing child report that has been out over the last several days. Unfortunately, we can confirm that the missing child was located here in Pine Ridge Park in Indiana County. This is an ongoing investigation, so the information we can provide is very limited at this time. We are working hand in hand with the Pennsylvania State Police, the Allegheny County Police and District Attorney's Office. The FBI has also been here, and they are assisting with this investigation. The Indiana County Coroner has been called to the scene, and he is working with the Forensic Services Unit to process the scene, and an autopsy will be performed tomorrow. Obviously, until we have some more information regarding the cause and manner of death, we really can't give you much at this point. But we are working diligently, and we are working together. This is a cooperative effort between Allegheny County and Indiana County to try to get the best outcome and determine what happened to this child. So with that, unfortunately, I'm not going to take questions. We would ask that you respect the family's privacy at this time and let them grieve in an appropriate manner. And make no mistake that we are working very hard to ensure that the individuals involved will be brought to justice. There is one individual currently in custody that has been previously reported. Allegheny County has custody of her, and we believe that she is involved. To what extent, that is still being determined. We do not believe that there is any need for alarm in the community. We believe that the community is safe and that we are working all leads to ensure that we are able to bring the individuals involved to justice. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming, and we could reiterate to please try and adhere to some type of privacy for the family involved in this. They're obviously going to be going through a tough time in their lives, so I know many of you might be asked to go contact them. We ask you as law enforcement officers and law enforcement officials, please abstain from that and leave them alone while they go through their grieving process.
Of course, that is not a lawful order. That's a request. A big-ass difference, because y'all know I don't give a fuck about that. I'm going to reach out and talk to the family. Y'all need to talk and tell me why all of these people are failing these fucking kids. Fuck what them police talking about. Y'all ain't never heard me say that. But they talking about respect their privacy. Fuck their privacy. Fuck their privacy. Because that's bullshit. Why did everybody around this 2-year-old little girl fail her? Somebody needs to explain that. Period. I'm not going to wait for the court systems. Somebody needs to explain that to me. Because that makes no damn sense at all. That's why we advocate for these kids. These kids are not going to say respect my parents' feelings. These kids, if they were able to speak right now, they would tell them, what about me? Somebody come advocate for me. My life matters. My life mattered. And nobody seemed to give a damn about me over here. That's what Nalani Johnson will be telling you damn people right now. Respect the family's privacy. Nobody give a damn about their privacy. What? Sorry, but no. We need to start caring about these kids more than grown-ass adults.
We continue to follow breaking news. The missing toddler from Penn Hills, Nalani Johnson, has been found dead. Her body was found at a park in Indiana County after a...
Thank y'all for understanding where I'm coming from, man. I appreciate that, because I get bothered by this, man. I really do.
Has been found dead. Her body was found at a park in Indiana County after a 4-day search. Nalani was just about to turn 2, and now she is at the center of an FBI investigation into her kidnapping and death. Ross Gadati is live near the crime scene in Indiana County. Ross, what can you tell us tonight?
Well, of course, we've been talking about this little girl, her fate, what happened to this child. So many flyers went out, so many appeals for help, so many appeals for information to try to find out where she was. The answer tonight is, as you mentioned, her remains are in Pine Ridge Park. We're in Burrell Township.
I need to stop the video to say that that's a great point that Egoos Is Me made in the chat. I want you guys to look at what Egoos Is Me said. She said they won't be private when they go to the public and beg for GoFundMe money, which is absolutely true and is absolutely the next step that's going to happen in this case. They're going to beg these benevolent white people for their money when these black people did not apparently care enough about their kids. like, I don't really know what the ethnicity is and of the mother, the biological mother, but this whole thing is just absolutely weird. But I appreciate you saying that, because they sure are going to be begging for GoFundMe money publicly. Are you going to tell the family, well, you guys need to respect that and you guys need to just grieve right now and don't worry about GoFundMe money? Police ain't going to tell them that. Actually, it just came through, I believe. Yes, it did. Relationship Rehab, bro. If you're listening, make sure y'all subscribe to Relationship Rehab channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to Lady La 2.0 as well as Princess X. So thank you to, and United Guns of America. And you guys make sure and go to afatherlessamerica.com. If y'all have not seen Tommy's movie, it's amazing. At least rent it. Take a moment and rent it and look at it. I promise you guys, you'll learn some things that you might not have even realized that we're missing in America. Shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor. My sister Eagles is me just sent in a $20 PayPal, and here's what she said. She said, it's been a minute since you've been able to donate. Sorry for that. You ain't got to apologize, man. Look, y'all have wrenches for a reason. Y'all have been donating y'all time and money and effort for a long time, so I really appreciate that. Don't ever apologize for that. You do what you can when you can. Not a problem. But she said, I had to donate something for the time it took you to get the show together, and it took me a little while, but it's okay. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I'll be buying one of your AFC shirts soon. Much love. Eagles is me. I love you right back, sister. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Eagles is me. I appreciate the message.
Indiana County. I have to reference this so you know where it is. It's by the Chestnut Ridge Golf Course, close to Route 22, also by the Conemaugh River. Earlier in the afternoon, word came of a very intense search being led by FBI investigators and Pennsylvania State Police. Assets at the scene included a drone, dogs, ATVs, and various other vehicles to go back. It was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. You noticed a change in the whole demeanor of everything going on here. A lot of the search assets were leaving, but the FBI remained, and then they began taping off parts of the park. And then word came the coroner was headed here, and then final confirmation from multiple sources through KDKA that the 2-year-old Nalani Johnson, the subject of so many hopes and wishes that for her safe return, were dashed when, as we've mentioned already, her remains were found. Now, the investigation is ongoing. This is an active crime scene, so obviously this is going to be involved. There's going to be a lot of involvement. There's going to be a lot of activity. They've already set up a command post here. And this essentially is going to be a place of focus for investigators. Now, coming up at 7 o'clock, there will be, as we understand it, a press conference. The state police will be holding it. We will bring that to you live. But right now, as we have already mentioned, the sad results of this search for this little girl are that she is gone. And now the search for those responsible for her death begins. Reporting live, Ross Gadati, KDK News.
Continue to follow breaking news. The missing.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. We got a couple more videos here. We almost got about 275 people here. So y'all just, as y'all come in, just click that thumbs up. Click that thumbs up. Yes, the Indian woman is not her mother, but she does have, we don't know where the real mom is. We have no idea. We don't even have a name in any of these news stories. We don't even know the name of the biological mother. The biological father's name is Paul Johnson. This is all weird, man. It's weird. Y'all let me know when any of this makes any sense. Pennsylvania pays the family of victims of violent crimes to bury. Okay, now, I do know that, so thank you to, I don't like saying your name, to be honest with you. But that is good information. There are a lot of places, I think in Detroit, I think does that. I think they do that in Cleveland, in Ohio, where if they suffer certain crimes, their funeral is paid for. So I want y'all to remember that before they throw up this GoFundMe and y'all just start shoveling tens of thousands of dollars in there for no fucking reason than to just shove money in people's pocket. I'm just saying, if y'all want to donate somebody $10,000, I would love to take the $10,000. I'll actually go do something positive with it. I can guarantee you, if y'all donate me $10,000, I'm not going to go buy no big ass rims. I'm not going to turn around and go throw it up in the strip club. I'm not going to turn around and be irresponsible with it. These damn people are going to take that money knowing that the state is going to cut them a check for the burial of that kid. And what are they going to do with that money? Spend it on fucking bullshit. Buying weed, buying drink, buying clothes, buying a bunch of fucking bullshit. They'll fuck around and open up a $10,000 GoFundMe for Nalani Johnson. Watch. I promise you, watch. Just saying. All we got to do is just pay attention to where we're investing our money at. You donate, I'll check that out here in just a moment.
And we continue to follow breaking news in Indiana County, where investigators have been searching a park for any sign.
I'll give you guys an example. Y'all might not know this, but I actually, like I tell people, when you donate to this platform, and what I mean is the Soto Podcast, I've actually done things where I've had to replace cameras, replace lights. You know, when people want me to send them out shirts and things like that, when they've been around for a while, donate some ribs to me. I don't need no ribs. Hey, I'm going to continue to ride my old ass SUV until the wheels fall off, because that thing running good right now. I've been taking my DJ money and fixing it up. It is working good right now. But like the program that I'm using, this program is kind of expensive. You can lease it or you can buy it outright. And I chose to buy it outright. You know what I'm saying? So mics cost money, headphones cost money. But nonetheless, we've actually gone and donated money to people. How many times have y'all watched us do that? So sometimes when our members have issues, we go help them in our chat. I don't want to call people's names out, but they know who they are. If you've ever asked me for help, I've actually helped out. If they want to tell you who they are, then they can. I'm not going to call their names out. There have been couples that have done it. There have been single families that have done it. And I don't mind helping when I can, right? But I think that's what we should do. I've actually, you know, paid for meals for families who couldn't fucking afford it, just needed a little help. I mean, just depending on what it is, man. Like, I feel like we ought to always take the blessings that we get and turn around and bless others. I'll say that again. The blessings that we get, we ought to turn around and bless others. If we call our kids a blessing, then why is it that we treat these kids like they're fucking paychecks? Like, that's just weird. Like, they don't seem to care that this little girl had a beautiful smile. They didn't care that this little girl probably was very sweet, learning how to walk and talk and, you know, just learning so much stuff. I love 2-year-olds. I love toddlers. I know people call them the terrible twos. I've never called them that. I love 2-year-old kids. Love them. I advocate for children because I love children. That's why I have a great relationship with my daughter. Have a great relationship with her. That's because I love kids. Like, I give her as much love as she wants. I hug her. I still pick her up. My daughter's too big for me to be picking her up, but daddy still picks her up as if she was still 2 years old. She's 12. And I don't mind throwing my back out of place trying to pick my baby up because that's what she wants. And I love her, and I will give my baby anything that I can. That's love. That's love.
And a missing toddler, Nalani Johnson.
And some devastating news to share with you right now. Sources tell us that they've just found her body. Let's get right to Ross Gadati, who is live now with the breaking details on this investigation. Ross?
Yeah, they began searching for this child's body this afternoon, and throughout the afternoon that we've been here, we saw various assets going in.
I will pause it from time to time and read when people donate. Let me read my brother Relationship Rehab's message. Say, congratulations on another great show. Salute to the AFC. Thank you, my brother Relationship Rehab, man, if you're listening. I hope he gets to hear this message before I kind of cut some of this off on the replay. But he knows I love my brother, man. Anthony said, a small token of appreciation for the knowledge you have been imparted on me in a short time I've been coming around. That is a first-time donation from Anthony. I'm not going to read your whole name out, but from Anthony C. So if you want to call your name out, cool. Dollar donation, guys. It don't take much at all. But thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. This is coming from... Oh, God, I don't know your chat name. This looks like a first-time donation from Wesley. I'm not going to say your whole name, but Wesley just also took on the dollar challenge. So thank you to Wesley if you're listening. Oh, so yeah, I read your message, bro, and I was just thanking you, Relationship Rehab. And again, you guys don't forget to subscribe. Click those 3 dots to the right-hand side of his name and subscribe to the Relationship Rehab channel. He had, damn near 200 people watching last night. It was dope, man. It was dope. And so once we finish, y'all go check his channel out when we get done here, okay? This one came from, let me see, this one. Keep advocating, my friend. I'm a big fan of Tommy. I'm glad he brought us to you. Rachel. So, Rachel, if you're listening, I did get your message. That is an awesome donation, so thank you. Thank you very much. From my heart to yours, thank you to Rachel. Let's keep going, guys. We're about to wrap up here in just a moment.
And then we saw the search teams actually leaving. The FBI now in charge of what appears to be a crime scene. Indiana County District Attorney Pat Doherty just going there a couple seconds ago, and we have confirmed from multiple sources that the Indiana County coroner is heading toward this area, and I think it goes without saying why they are here. This was the area, of course, that investigators were concentrating on. We're in Burrell Township, close to the Chestnut Ridge Golf Course, by the Conemaugh River, and this is apparently the end point based on investigations where the suspect's alleged kidnapper, Sharena Nancy, basically turned around and started heading back toward the city of Pittsburgh. But as we said before, this is the search area for the little girl, and the coroner is on scene, and this has now become a recovery operation and, in fact, a crime scene investigation. There are many more details we're working on, and we'll get them back to you as soon as we find out. Reporting live, Ross Godotti, KDK News.
Yes, breaking right now at 6 law enforcement sources confirmed to Channel 11 News that the Penn Hills toddler, Nalani Johnson, has been found dead. This is the outcome that everyone feared.
I know that a lot of people out there were praying for her safe return, and it is just so hard to imagine something like this happening to such an innocent child. State police and the FBI reportedly found Nalani's body in Pine Ridge Park along Route 22 near Blairsville. That's where Channel 11's Melanie Marcelco is live right now. Melanie, we understand state police are planning to give an update in the next hour.
Yeah, David, Lisa, we're hoping to learn more in the next hour, but we've been able to confirm from multiple law enforcement sources that they did find the body of Nalani Johnson right in the vicinity of this park. And you can see state police and the FBI still have Pine Ridge Park here in Burrell Township shut down at this hour. We're also told there's more of an area on the outlining of this park taped off with a heavy police presence. Details, though, very limited at this point. We're supposed to learn more from state police and the FBI in the next hour or so. The almost 2-year-old girl was abducted from Penn Hills over the weekend. State police are said to be assisting the FBI with this search, and this is all happening at Pine Ridge Park in Burrell Township. That's kind of the focus of where they set up this search. This is right outside of Blairsville and Chestnut Ridge Golf Course, and we've seen a lot of resources here, like all-terrain vehicles, dogs here helping with the search, drones, state police helicopters, and just in the last 24 hours, investigators have been scouring every area of where this alleged abductor hit, from Delmont to New Alexandria. And Sharena Nancy, the woman charged with abducting this little girl, is in jail tonight. Now, there's still a lot of questions we're hoping to get answered tonight, like how did this happen? How did investigators find her? How long was she alive for? And what is the suspect, Sharena Nancy? Was she the only one involved in this case? And those are questions and answers we're hoping to get later in the coming hour when we get to hear from state police and the FBI. We're hoping to get.
Okay, Passion asked, when did this happen? This just happened on September the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Between the 31st and the 1st, so just a few days ago. But they just found her body today, earlier today. Just today. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. And I think that why don't they have the father in custody? Like, I don't know, this is just weird, man. This whole thing is weird. His ass should be in custody, too.
Breaking news, Nalani Johnson, the missing toddler from Penn Hills, has been found dead. KDKA confirmed in the last hour that her body was found at a park in Indiana County. That little girl went missing 4 days ago, and the search led authorities to Blairsville, where investigators found her body. We have team coverage of this story. John Shumway has been talking to investigators about who is responsible for the little girl's death. But we start with Ross Godotti, who is live near the crime scene tonight. Ross.
There were so many flyers that went out, so much hope from family and friends of this little girl. But the sad news is that Nalani Johnson, as you mentioned, her remains have been found here at Pine Ridge Park in Burrell Township, Indiana County. It was about 1 o'clock this afternoon that the search really intense.
Let me say thank you to Sister Veronica Vessel. Said, I love what you do for children. Thank you very much, because I believe that the children do need a voice, man. And I'm going to keep working my ass off, and I'm going to continue to keep taking threats from people, because I believe in what I'm saying. And just so y'all know, yeah, people really do threaten my life, but it's all good. I understand people's frustration. Now, I'm not stupid. Like, I don't walk around naked or nothing, but you know, I do understand people's frustration. I really do. And they don't like when I go against these families and their friends and their relatives. I get it, but I got to be honest. And I have to be honest because that's the only way that we're going to get better. Anytime any black people have ever tried to make the black community better, their lives have always been threatened. So I know that based on our history, this ain't nothing new. This is nothing new. And I know that I ain't got shit to be worried about, you know? I'm not worried about any of that. I'm worried about these children because that's the next generation. That's the next legacy coming up. I've lived a lot of life, but I want to make sure that these children at least get an opportunity to reach 36 years old like I did. Now, I want to live a lot longer than that. I want to live a hell of a lot longer than that. But they are not even coming close. These babies are dying at a matter of months old, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, before they can even walk and talk and even have a consciousness. We're not even giving these kids a chance. And that's what I want, is for these kids to have a chance, okay? Let's keep going. We're about to wrap up here in just a little bit, guys.
In and around here. We're by the Chestnut Ridge Golf Course. Just to give you a point of reference, by the Conemaugh River. FBI and state police on scene. There were ATVs, drones, and various other types of search parties going in and out, dogs as well. And then maybe about 4 o'clock, you saw all those assets.
SH Place said people in Pittsburgh believe the dad is lying. I'm telling you, that motherfucker is lying. Paul Johnson is lying. I'm alleging this based on what I've heard. I don't know for a fact that he's lying, but I'm telling you, we believe in our hearts and believe in the information that has been put out there, that none of it makes any sense. I believe that he was complicit in this. The fucking father is lying. Paul Johnson, I believe, is lying.
Believing. And then you saw the FBI beginning to...
If y'all think the father's lying, click that thumbs up, because I believe his ass is complicit. Click that thumbs up, please.
Tape off sections of the park where we were at. Then came word that the coroner was on the scene. Of course, the confirmation that the little girl was found dead. Pat Doherty, who's the district attorney of Indiana County, he's down here. There's a command post that is behind me that apparently has been set off. Where they found the little girl's body is some distance from us, and right now that is an active crime scene in which the investigation is the FBI is now putting a lot of its efforts into. And this, of course, as you mentioned, was where the stop point for Sharena Nancy was as far as cell phone traffic. It was here outside of Blairsville, where, according to officials, she may have turned around and headed back to the city of Pittsburgh, and it's here where they found the child's remains. There is so much more information regarding this now crime scene investigation here in Indiana County that we're going to have to keep following, and we'll have the information for you as well. There is apparently going to be a press conference at about 7 o'clock here at the entrance to the park. We will be streaming it live on KDKA.com.
I just looked for the mother's name of the biological mother. They're referring to Taji Walsh as the biological mother. That's not the biological mother. They referred to her as the grandmother. And she looks like she was old enough to be the grandmother. So Taji Walsh, from my understanding, is the grandmother, but I Google searched to try to find the biological mother's name. Let me see. I'm gonna look one more time. Man, where's my functions now? Oh, there it is. Let me see. Mom and mother. It's saying Taji Walsh is the mother. That is not the mother. They referred to her as the grandmother. Yep, it says grandmother. This is so weird. God, dog. I'm going to show her face one more time. Let me see if I can show y'all this. Let me see. Save as. Look at this face. Does that look like the mother, or does that look like the grandmother? These news people got this all effed up. I'm not dumb. Even I know that this person is not the mother. That is the grandmother. She looks like she's about 50 or 60 years old. Back her up 24 months, she's too old to have a kid this age. Sorry, that chick is too old to be having a kid that age. That's definitely the grandmother. She young, nah, she old. She old. Them eggs is dust. Sorry, but she's old. I'm not trying to be a jackass, but she's old.
Or not.
Maybe the daughter and her have the same name. That's a good point, Veronica, but I think that's still probably not likely, though. I think that's not likely, but I do feel you, though. But that's at least a good guess, though. That's better than what we got right now, because we don't have a name for her at all. But let's go ahead and wrap this up here in just a little bit. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and move on to the next video. Let me go this one.
Yeah, Susan, obviously not a lot of information coming from Pat Doherty, because essentially this is just the very beginning of this investigation. We know, or at least we're being told by authorities out of Allegheny County, but now the whole focus is now here in Indiana.
Somebody else brought up a good point. Mom's fur baby said, how's she going to be the mom and can't even pronounce the baby's name? Great point. That's a great catch. That's another reason why, matter of fact, I don't even think she really was in this little girl's life. And guess what? She's going to probably turn around and open up a GoFundMe for $10,000 for this little kid. Me and my daughter have the same name. I would expect that for boys, not really so much for girls, though. For y'all to have the exact same name, that's a little bit odd for girls, though. Definitely an odd thing for girls. Boys, I understand. But maybe that's more common than I know. It could just be a me thing. That couldn't be maybe that's not a me and you thing, Veronica, but maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe that's something I just haven't seen much.
Indiana County. How did this little girl end up in this park, in some wooded area off 22 near the park? What were the circumstances around it? Now, of course, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or thereabouts, heavy concentration search in various aspects of the law enforcement, FBI, state police, and others, local law enforcement, really focusing on the park here, trying to figure out exactly what was going on. And it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock. We started watching the assets for the search and rescue leave. And then the FBI began to essentially cordon off parts of the park, especially areas off to what would be my right by 22. As a matter of fact, not far from where I'm standing, there's a house and a wooded area back there. And it is reasonably assumed that that's where Nalani Johnson's remains have been discovered. The FBI playing a key role in this. They brought in a special unit that looks for children who are missing. They are playing a part of it. You saw that Andy Sherman, Allegheny County police detective or Inspector Andy Sherman in the background. He obviously part of the Allegheny County aspect of this investigation. We have to go back to when this all started, which was Saturday afternoon when Nalani Johnson was in a car with her father and Paul Johnson, and that's when the alleged suspect in this case basically took off. And there were a lot of things told that, a whole bunch of stories going around that this was a $10,000 sale of a child. The driver didn't know anything about it. But then, of course, through the use of technology, through the use of cell phone records and pinging off various cell phone towers, they found that this was the endpoint here in Blairsville. And from that point, they basically worked their way back. There was a press conference this afternoon in Allegheny County, extensively covered by John Shumway, in which they basically said that the relationship between the driver and Mr. Johnson wasn't one of just an Uber driver. Initially, it was that an Uber driver, they didn't know each other. And then it became apparent they were in the beginnings of some kind of relationship. They got into an argument, and that's when the incident Saturday in Penn Hills took off, when the black car with the child basically drove away. And now the end result of this tragedy, the end result, of course, is the tragic discovery of this child. But there's so much more that has to go on as far as the investigation goes. Pat Doherty has jurisdiction of what happened in Allegheny County or Indiana County. What's going to happen in Allegheny County? Those are questions that have yet to be answered, and we're going to learn more and more about that as the days go on. But the sad reality is Nalani Johnson was not alive. That's
really the saddest part, is to find out that she's not alive. But I'll tell you guys this, as much information as we have, there's still a ton of things that we still don't know. Even after all of this, we still don't know.
As crews searched for the little girl, dozens of people gathered to pray for her safe return. Channel 11's Gabriella DeLuca continues our live Team 11 coverage with more on tonight's service. Gabriella.
David, tonight people in the community had one common hope, and that is that Nalani was going to be found safe. But still, there are so many questions surrounding her disappearance. While standing in a circle, hand in hand, friends and family of Nalani Johnson prayed for her safe return. But the vast majority of people there had never even met the little girl.
It warms my heart that there are people that are strangers that really do care and that they want to, know what happened.
Tiana Williams is a friend of Nalani's family and is...
That sounded like she had a Baltimore accent. I heard that. That sounded like she had a Baltimore accent. So she's up there in the East Coast, so that's probably why she has that accent.
Is a friend of Nalani's family and is speaking on their behalf tonight.
Let's start getting out there, passing out flyers, keep saying her name, Nalani Johnson, Nalani Johnson, keep saying it over and over again.
I don't know if y'all can hear that. I hear her Baltimore, her B-more accent. I can hear it. There are two accents I can pick up really, really good. Baltimore and New Orleans. And of course, maybe OKC, but that's kind of a given. Baltimore and New Orleans are real good. I'm real good with both of those.
In the middle of their circle, lit candles and flyers with a picture of the toddler.
It shows support, love.
It was all organized by a local pastor.
They need to know that it's okay to break down. It's okay to fall apart, They need to know that.
To make sure this baby girl makes it home safe, sound, and whole again.
That's exactly what happened at times tonight.
As we pray for Nalani.
Emotions that overcame the group.
And to help the family build comfort, Lord.
You notice a lot of white men, black women, white women, but no black men. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? I could just be wrong.
God.
And the will to find Nalani still remains strong.
And if it takes months, years from now, whatever, that's how it's going to have to be. We will find her.
That's a little bit odd. I mean, I get it, but there were white women and white men, but there were only black women and no black men. I'm gonna look at this again. Maybe I'm wrong.
Or on tonight,
little girl. It warned safe return.
Let's look again.
While standing surrounding her disappearance.
Let's look again. So I'm not being an asshole. Let's look one more time. Y'all tell me if y'all see any black men here.
Appearance.
And I'll pause it because that's a pretty big group of people.
Standing in a circle, hand in hand.
There you go. Black woman, white man with the hair on his arms. I'm assuming that's a man. I hope that's a man.
Friends and family of...
Okay, look again. White man, black woman, black woman, black woman, white woman, white woman, white woman, white woman, white woman. Looks like a mixed woman. Let's keep going.
Nalani Johnson prayed for her safety.
Black woman, white woman, white woman. I can't tell on the other side. That's a female though, I think.
Return. But the vast...
One black man. I see him right there. One black man. There is one black man. It looks like a black man.
Majority of people there had never even met.
Black women.
Met the little girl.
It warms my heart that there are...
This is a friend of Nalani's...
Two black women, one white woman.
Family and is speaking on their behalf tonight.
Let's start getting out there.
We've already heard from her.
Passing out over and over again.
To break down. They need to...
It was all organized by a local pastor.
Okay, let's back it up a little bit.
Toddler.
It shows support, love.
Wait, did I go?
Keep saying it over and over again.
In the middle of...
Okay, look again. White man, white women.
Their circle lit candles and flyers with a picture of the toddler.
It shows support, love.
It was all...
Here we go. We're going to look again. All these people out there, bunch of kids, bunch of women, quite a few white men, more, but there are definitely more women though.
Organized by a local
white man,
pastor.
Black man right there. and a black cameraman. There's a black cameraman and a black man in the circle, and that's the only black men there.
Need to know that it's okay to break down. It's okay to fall apart, you know? They need to know that.
To make sure this baby girl makes it home safe, sound, and whole again.
That's exactly what happened to
3 black women, 1 white man, 1 white woman on that far side in the pink shirt, black woman holding her hand.
Times tonight.
As we pray for Nalani.
Emotions that overcame the group.
And to help the family build comfort, Lord God.
In the will to find Nalani.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to be a jackass. I'm just throwing it out there that there is a small presence of black men in a lot of these situations. Let's keep going. Oh, we already know that. We already know that. Let's go ahead and move on to this one. Let's listen to the grandmother again.
How are you holding up in this exact moment?
It still seems all surreal right now. I just float through my day. I don't know. I try not to think, because that takes me to a place where I don't really want to go. So I just try to keep busy and do what I can to get the word out that we want Nalani to come back home.
Take me through, how the process has been. We were saying it's a living nightmare. Your mom said it's been awful.
It has been awful. Everybody's losing sleep over this. Money's being put towards this as a reward for her return safely. We just want our baby back home. That's all.
There's a lot of stuff circulating on social media, and people are saying various things. What do you want to say to the general public about your daughter and the search for her right now?
There's the biological father, Paul Johnson, son of a bitch. Natoya Bell. That's Paul Johnson. That's Paul Johnson. That's the biological father. Just got one more donation in. I know not to read this name, but I want to tell this person, thank you very much. You know who you are. Thank you very much, man. And sometimes, man, we get a lot of people that donate on a regular basis all the time, man. I'd love to see some new names in here, but if you haven't donated in a while, then you guys know that the links are in the description box, okay? If you guys want to utilize one of those, anything that you guys can find in your budget to donate would be greatly appreciated. That's Paul Johnson, the biological father. No tears in his face, no concern. Let's listen at this again. Listen to how they address him. He said, your daughter. Listen again. Let me back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Let's listen again.
Come back home.
Take me through, how the process has been. We were saying it's a living nightmare. Your mom said it's been awful.
It has been awful. Everybody's losing sleep over this. Money's being put towards this as a reward for her return safely. We just want our baby back home. That's all.
There's a lot of stuff circulating on social media, and people are saying various things. What do you want to say to the general public about your daughter?
He said, what do you want to say about your daughter? Let's listen again.
And to search for her right public about your daughter. What do you want to say to the general public about your daughter?
What do you want to say to the general public about your daughter?
What do you want to say to the general public about your daughter and to search for her?
Paul Johnson, biological father.
Right now.
A lot of it is being generalized over just random opinions, random things, random people are saying, and it's not all true because they don't even know the facts.
What do you guys want to say about Nalani?
She's a sweet girl. She's a sweet girl. I think of her laugh, and she'd run around from you, and we just want her to come back home. I will be at the Walmart in Delmont at 10:30. If anybody could come out and help us look through the general area and pass out flyers, any help is appreciated at this point. And hopefully we can get Nalani back home through our efforts.
Do you guys want to comment at all on the arrest of this lady?
No, not at this time.
And really, at this point, anyone can help, right?
Yes,
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 anybody.
anybody.
If you find any leads, successful leads, any whereabouts of where the abductors might be, just please let us know.
I want you guys to remember how many times we've watched these killers and murderers or people that are complicit in the murder of these children. How many stories have I done just in 2019 of these people lying? People that look just like these people that end up, we find out that they're lying. Last video, and then we're going to wrap up. Innocent little girl, man. She didn't deserve this at all. In this story, nobody gave a shit about this little girl. Nobody did. I'm going to wrap up by saying this. First and foremost, once we finish, I want you guys to go over to Relationship Rehab's channel. What's up, Parker Lynn? Good to see you. I'll be seeing you in a lot of people's chats. I know I don't always advertise the shows that I be watching, but I do watch a lot of shows. So, yeah, but shout out to you, my sister. I always appreciate you. Yes, let me see. Who is that? Zia Queen? I can't see what that first part is. But yes, you are a little bit late. But here we go, because I can't go back and reiterate. We've been on this for a while, and we got to wrap it up, okay? So here's what I want to say at the end of the day. This is my fear about this story. I fear that we're going to get more and more information out. They're talking about they're going to be looking at security cameras. They're going to be piecing together all of this information, trying to put it together, trying to make sense of this. And in my opinion, I think what's going to happen is more people are going to be held responsible for the disappearance and now death of Nalani Johnson. She was barely 2 years old. And in my opinion, nobody cared for this little girl. The father did not care about this little girl. The biological mother did not care about this little girl. This woman that you see on my screen, Sharena Nancy, who was having sex based or not, well, I should say maybe not sex, but was in a romantic relationship, which usually means sex, right? Usually means sex with the biological father. She did not care about this little girl. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the grandmother also did not care about this little girl. If you go back and watch her interview and the fact that she couldn't even speak the name Nalani Johnson. It's not that hard. And I'm sorry, you don't get that worked up and that emotional that you don't know how to pronounce your own granddaughter's name. That's just flat out inexcusable. Give me just a second. Hold on just a second, guys. Just a second. Okay. Now, here's what I'm saying. In my opinion, these people didn't show any level of regard and care for this little girl, and she was failed by everybody. And I think that this is just absolutely inexcusable. There's no excuse for this. There's no excuse that's going to be good enough, okay? But like I say, I hope everybody understands. So far, we only have one person that's arrested. Not even arrested for the murder, but at this point, Sharena Nancy, 25 years old, the Indian woman, is the only person that's even arrested in connection with this. So hopefully we start getting some real answers, and I hope that they start putting out the information as far as letting us know what happened. And then once they have their actual forensic evidence and their videotapes or whatever it is that they have, then we can find out whether these people are lying or not, because I believe there are a whole lot of lies being told here, and I hope that these people are held responsible, okay? Again, this is your boy DJ Just Jay from the AFC, the Soto Podcast, where we advocate for children first. I'll try to cut this out on the replay and make it a little bit shorter for you guys, so that way you can see just the stream by itself and find out what happened, and we'll get some more updates as we go along, okay? Thank you guys. Per hands up, and RIP Nalani Johnson, 2 years old. Y'all say that baby's name. Nalani Johnson. It's a simple name to pronounce. I don't know how the grandmother got that name wrong. She should know her grandbaby, okay? To the father, you failed your daughter. And to the biological mother, where the hell is she at? To this woman here, she did something wrong, very, very wrong, and I hope that she's held accountable, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening, man. We're going to go ahead and sign out and wrap up, and we'll see you guys whenever we do the update on this story, okay? Peace.